got off from work and now I'm on my way to the grocery store to get some milk. And once I get home, I'll change clothes and then it's time for the Close Division's band rehearsals. And as I said yesterday, it's been a while since the last time I really actually sang. So I can't sing with full throttle today. Because well, basically singing is muscle work, and the more you use those muscles correctly, the stronger they'll be, or stronger they get. But if you don't know what you're doing, just ripping it off, just ripping your throat, that's not good, because in the end you're going to blow up your voice, probably permanently. And I actually did that about 8 years ago. I was singing in an 80s metal cover band, and I had no idea of singing techniques and whatsoever. I just screamed, and in the end I blew up my voice, and it took me about 8 years. Oh, sorry, it took me over 2 years until I was able to produce a clean note again, effortlessly. And I've met some guys who are, well, usually those guys are extreme metal vocalists. I mean, they used to sing in death metal or black metal bands without any kind of technique. They just screamed and roared, no matter how it hurt. And in the end they'll sound like this, because I was lucky and there wasn't any permanent damage in my throat. So that was something that I was able to repair. But you have to be careful, and nowadays I'm very cautious and aware about the way I sing, how it feels in my body and how it sounds and those things, because you have to be careful. I mean, you can't go to the gym and for the first time and then try to lift 200 pounds. That's just not the way it goes. You have to do that kind of groundwork. You have to build your strength from ground up. And that same applies when it comes to singing. And basically singing is like, or learning how to sing is basically the same thing that learning how to play the guitar. But only difference is that if there's a flaw in your technique as a guitar player and you keep breaking strings, you can always change that string and tune it up again. But with singing it's not that easy, because you can't change your vocal cords. But anyway, singing is something you can learn on your own, and you can develop your singing technique, range and all that stuff without any lessons. I mean, lessons are good because they help you to avoid certain things that would cause problems later. And if you want to learn how to sing on your own, there's a book that I recommend. It's called Secrets of Singing by Jeffrey Allen. And that book comes, well, there are 2 different editions of that book. And basically the book itself is the same in both of them. But the difference is that that book comes with 2 CDs. And those CDs contain different kinds of vocal exercises and so forth. So there are 2 different editions, one for females and one for males. And those 2 CDs are, one for, the other CD is for high-voiced singers, and the other is low-voiced singers. So that's something I'd recommend. And well, actually there are also loads of different kinds of singing lessons in YouTube, for example. And there's one channel that I'd recommend. It's called actually I'm not sure, is it Singing Successfully or something like that. Well, I check it before I upload this video, and I put the link down there. So you can taught yourself how to sing, but you have to be careful. You have to listen to your body. And the rule of thumb is, if it hurts, don't do it. I mean, if you want to sing this extreme metal with all those growl and high pitch screams, you can do that. But if the way you're doing it hurts, stop immediately and find a way where you can produce that same sound but without that pain. Back home, and I didn't bring you with me this time because there's, in Close Division's rehearsal room, there's not much to hear, because the only things you can hear in the room are the drums and some vocals, and that's because all the string instruments and keyboards are going straight into the mixer through these sound modules, so you can't hear what they're playing without headphones. That's a good system because you can adjust the volume yourself. You don't have to use earplugs or anything like that, so it's a good way to get a clean sound, clear sound. And we did some rearranging today. Good rehearsals, good vibe. And that's the thing about playing in a band. It's all about the atmosphere and the vibe in the room. Because if someone comes to the rehearsals angry or depressed, it affects to the overall atmosphere quite greatly. But if the person, and now we're talking about lead guitars, I mean, so I've heard some heck of a solos, because if the lead guitarist comes to the rehearsals angry, something is really bugging him or her, and that person can and wants to channel that feeling into the music, you can actually hear some killer solos. I mean, I've been in some rehearsals when someone comes to the room totally pissed. He's just boiling in rage, and that person picks up his instrument or mic, if we're talking about vocalist, and just let it burn. Just lets it burn. And those moments are magical. So now I'm going to go home, edit this vlog, and probably I'll do the same thing as I pretty often do, even if I promise myself I won't do it. After I edit and upload this, I'll probably be watching YouTube videos, and I stop somewhere in the AM hours, and I have to get up at 5:30 AM to go to work. So, my fault. So, until next time, tomorrow. See ya!